If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you want to learn how to start and grow a tech channel. And I'm going to give you the full blueprint on how to do that. My name is Nathan, and I've grown multiple channels of my own past 1 million and even 10 million subscribers. And let's dive in. Now, if you know who I am, my story is pretty intense. I've uploaded thousands of videos across the years when scaling my YouTube channels. And I actually don't run a tech channel. I run a bunch of different channels, but my advice and my strategies apply across any channel when it comes to YouTube. So I want to share with you some of the biggest and most important things I learned. And this is specifically going into the technology niche because in my opinion, it's one of the best niches that you can start a YouTube channel on because the niche is never going to disappear. When I started my YouTube channel, I started off with the game of Minecraft. And the thing is that Minecraft could die out. It actually kind of is dying out. So if I build my entire brand, my entire audience, relying on this game and one day it dies, well, my YouTube channel might die as well. However, being a tech content creator is, I think, a really smart place to be because think about it. Technology is never going to die. It's always going to be evolving. There's always going to be a new camera, a new phone, a new TV, a new laptop, and people are always going to need information on the new features, and they want to see the newest stuff that comes out and hits the market. So there's always going to be people watching because technology is always evolving. It's never going to go away. It's only going to get better. Marquez, or MKBHD, has a great quote saying that he's going to be one of the oldest content creators. He could probably make content for the next 50 years as long as the platform still exists. And that's simply because technology is not going away. So I want to just throw that out there because if you are considering a tech channel and you're kind of thinking in your head, should I start a tech channel or should I start a lifestyle channel? I think if you have passion and interest in technology, then definitely go after the tech channel because your niche is not going to die, and that's a really comforting thing to know. Let's dive into the basics. How do you get started on YouTube? My first year on YouTube, I posted 143 videos. My second year, I posted 201 videos. And the best way to get started on YouTube, in my opinion, is to follow the footsteps of someone else. It's the same way you learn how to play the piano. You start by playing other people's music, and then over time, you learn how to play your own music. So if you have a certain creator that you look up to, try to replicate their content, but put your own style, your own twist, and your own comedy into that video. That's exactly what I did when I started my YouTube channels. There was a couple gamers that I looked up to. I loved their content. So I kind of copied or cloned their video ideas, the way they do their intros. And of course, look, copying is not something that's going to get you very far, but it's something that's going to get you started. And once you start creating, you can start brainstorming and being more creative better, but you got to just get started. So my best advice to you is to get inspiration from a certain creator and follow in their footsteps. Now, how do you brainstorm video ideas? Because this is a big concern of creators. There's basically two buckets of how to brainstorm video ideas. And inside those buckets, there's a lot of blueprints that you can adapt and use to brainstorm ideas. And we go very deep for 2 hours in our Blueprint University program on how to do that. But one bucket is documenting, and the other bucket is creating. Let's start with the bucket of documenting. If you're a tech creator, then you're probably going to do a lot of documenting. And basically what documenting means is you're reviewing something, you're unboxing something, you're showcasing something, you're giving a tutorial, a how-to video. The great thing about documenting is that the video idea is already made for you. So for example, if Apple comes out with a new iPhone, then you might make a video about the new phone and the features and the hidden features or the Easter eggs about this phone. Or you might do a battery test, a durability test, right? There's a lot of things you can do, but that is documenting. You're documenting your experience with this product. And the video idea is already made. And the great thing about that is that the audience is already there waiting. So when a big company like Microsoft or Apple or Samsung drop a new product, product, there is usually millions of people waiting for someone to drop a review video on the new features. So your audience is waiting for you. And then you have the other bucket, which is creating. And this is the bucket that I focus on for my YouTube channels because my channels are very, very creative. But creative just basically means the opposite. Your video idea is not created. You have to make something from scratch. A great example of this would be YouTubers like Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, or even myself, Unspeakable. We make our video ideas from scratch. There's not really anything we're documenting. The next thing I would focus on, over time, as you make more videos, you'll eventually find your strengths as a creator. And these strengths are going to be the cornerstones of your brand, your channel, and the reason people watch your videos. People watch our videos because they're super creative ideas, because our bucket is creativity, but we also have a lot of comedy and funny moments in our videos. And those are the strengths of our channel. That's our brand. If you ask, why do people like watching Unspeakable videos? Most people say, oh, his videos are really funny, or his videos are really crazy. And that's the reason that people watch. That's the strengths of our brand. And over time, we build on those strengths more and more and more and make them stronger and stronger and stronger. So my advice to you is that once you go down the journey of creating content, it might take some time for you to find these strengths. This is not something you're just gonna find in a month or 2 months. It actually took me probably about 2 years to figure out what my strengths are. And then it took me the next 8 years to build on them every single year. So it is a process. It's not just like you flip a switch, but those are going to be the cornerstones of your brand. So once you know them and once you find them, try to build on them and really focus on them, because that's what's going to make you different, stand out, and that's why people are going to watch your videos. The next thing I want to talk about is making your last video your competition. This is something I started doing around year 4, 5, and 6 on YouTube, but I really wish I would have done it earlier. I basically made myself a competition, because the reality is, like, we look at a lot of other YouTubers in our niche and we try to compete with them. But the problem is you can't, because everyone watches a specific YouTuber for a specific reason, even if they're in the same niche. So in my opinion, competition on YouTube actually is you in the mirror. And I think the best way to compete with yourself is to make your last video your competition. So post a video and then try to find 2 or 3 things that you think you could improve on that video, and then apply it to the next video and repeat that process over and over and over again. And you can see here on year 4, I did that for my channel and I posted 470 videos. The next year I posted 869 videos, and I was trying to make each video better and better and better. My last video was my competition. I was not focused on any other creators. And that year, in year 5 and 6, I actually became the 2nd most viewed gaming creator of that entire year. I was averaging about 220 million monthly viewers. And by the way, this is all long form content, no shorts. So it works. The strategy works, right? The other part of the strategy is that you got to have momentum. So I had a lot of momentum being built up over years and years and years of content that allowed me to get to that point. But that's a whole nother discussion that we'll talk about later. But my point is make your last video your competition. YouTube is about you. That's why the word you is in YouTube, and no one can compete with you on being yourself. So why would you not try to beat yourself? Try to be better than you were yesterday. And this goes into my next point. A lot of creators ask me, hey, how can I get so good at YouTube? How can I get so good at this? The same way you get good at YouTube is the same way you would get good if you're playing sports. How do you get good at baseball? You show up every day, you practice hard, you work super hard, and you're consistent with it. You're practicing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day. Sometimes you're practicing twice a day. How do you think guys go from high school baseball to college and then to professional baseball leagues? They put in a ton of work. It all comes down to repetition. If you want to get good at something in life, You gotta do it a lot. I didn't hit my first viral video till about 4 years in. So I posted 574 videos to my channel until I finally got one video to go viral and hit 1 million views. So it took 3.5 years to do that. And that's repetition. That's repetition at its finest. I was showing up every single week, every single day, making videos for 3.5 years, and nothing would go viral. And then eventually, one popped off. If I'm being honest, I could talk all freaking day about how to be a creator, and that's why I made Blueprint University. So if you're interested, it's my full, almost 11-hour program split up into 3 difficulty levels of how you can make a successful YouTube empire. Not just a channel, but an empire. So go check it out. Link in the description, and I'll see y'all next week. We're also posting videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe.